This is Beach Talk Radio.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all ships at sea. This is your captain speaking, Mean Gene. Mean Gene. The following will be a test of the ship's whistle, the sonar alarm, the cable alarm, and the atomic attack alarm.
Ladies and gentlemen, broadcasting live 100 feet from the Gulf of America. Here are your award-winning social media superstars, the hosts of Beach Talk Radio, Kim and Ed Ryan.
Yeah. Thank you all for coming. Thank you to Wahoo Willies for having us. My wife is not here today. She's very much under the weather, not feeling well at all. She pushed through it yesterday to help us out with the parade.
You would have never known she was sick yesterday.
Yeah, her hair was flowing beautifully yesterday.
As always.
And then she went home, and this morning she woke up. She sounded like she had a frog in her throat. And so she's resting comfortably and probably watching to make sure I don't get out of line. But today there's going to be a little out of line.
She will be commenting.
Yes, she will be. And I'll be in trouble when I get home. But anyway, so Megan Allers is here, the First Lady of Fort Myers Beach. Also a Women's Club board member. Yes.
And I want to thank Deb Nelson and Barb Mazeski. They are the committee members that pulled off the St. Pat's Parade yesterday. And I don't think there is one person on this island that did not enjoy yesterday. They killed it. Absolutely amazing.
Yes, a great parade. People all over the place. The after party was twice the size as last year. 2 bands at the after party. 3 marching bands. I love the marching bands, which was 2 more than last year. The Dunbar Marching Band. Have you
They're
guys?
always amazing.
Oh my gosh,
I know.
crazy good.
Yep.
And big party with a bigger tent this year.
It was huge.
Yeah,
And
Sterling
they did
Avenue.
not run out of beer this year.
Not, they were prepared for the beer this year. So another reason I wanted to have you come up is, I don't know if you're following the Women's Club. They're in a promotion right now where they're giving away Santana tickets. Everything the Women's Club does right now is to raise money for the new building. So the Santana tickets are what they're giving away now, which were donated to us from somebody that follows the show. And I want to bring Joe up. Joe, come on up.
Joe.
Joe is from Wisconsin, and he's down here. Oh, wow. Wisconsin's in the house. So, Joe, grab that microphone. And, Joe, first tell everybody. Oh, that was weird.
Hi, I'm Joe Nash. I'm from Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin. We got a foot of snow this morning on the ground with possible another foot coming by tomorrow. So
But you're
I'm really
here,
blessed to
but
be
you're
here.
here, so we don't care
Blessed
about that.
to be here.
All right.
And
Go ahead.
last year, we gave Ed and Kim one of our weeks for 4th of July at Marina Village at Snug Harbor next door, room 602. And they raised $4,000 for the ladies, for the Women's Club, for their new building. So we decided we're going to do it again this year on the 250th anniversary. It starts July 4th through the 11th, room 602. It's 2-bedroom, 2-bath, granite counters in the kitchen, washer and dryer.
Yeah.
Great place up on the roof. You can watch the fireworks. It's amazing of all the communities. So we're hoping Ed and Kim can really raise even more than the $4,000 last year for this year. So the Women's Club
We appreciate it.
can.
We really do, Joe.
We love the show.
Thank you.
We love Fort Myers Beach. Been coming here for 20 plus years. So
Appreciate that.
just
And
hoping
Yes.
they do great.
We are grateful. Thank you so much. It's really generous.
Yep.
yeah, and so we don't know how we're going to do the whole promotion yet, so just kind of stay tuned for that.
I'm going to have you hold on to this.
I will hold on to that. Mary knows all about it already. So when you guys are, we don't like to run big promotions at the same time. So we're kind of going to wait till the Santana promotion is over and then start that one, which is a great prize. So tomorrow's a big day for you. There's going to be a vote at the town council. There'll be one vote, final vote, and then the building is approved. So if you're a supporter of the Fort Myers Beach Women's Club, you should come out.
Please come support us. We would appreciate it.
Right. Everybody's allowed to speak for 3 minutes at the public comment, which is a 9 o'clock meeting tomorrow. So thank you. Big hand for Megan. Great job yesterday with the parade. Started at Santini Plaza and went all the way down to Sterling Avenue. It was 1.2. Yeah, all these are free. Just take all this. I can't take them home or I'm going to get a divorce. They're not allowed. We're trying to empty out the garage of all the products that I purchased that didn't sell well, so they're on the giveaway list. So, yeah, yesterday was a great day, and I don't know if you knew that the mayor is a dancing leprechaun. Did you guys see that video? Is it on? Let me see. There you go.
Yeah. Well, if you can't
Check.
make a fool of yourself, then you know.
So from Santini Plaza to Sterling Avenue is 1.2 miles. We clocked it. You danced all the way from Santini Plaza in that outfit that you were wearing, and
I probably did 3 miles.
yeah, because you were zigzagging across the
Yeah.
street.
You know, afterwards, I had a guy come up to me. I've never met him, and he said, "Sir, I've got a bone to pick with you." And I thought, "Oh boy, here we go." And he's like, "You took my wife out, and we're dancing with her in the street." I said, "Wait till you get the bill."
No,
He laughed. It was fun.
you had a great time, and you're always like that. You do that at all the different parades. I don't want to give away like some of the other holidays which you're dressed up at,
Yeah.
especially being that they're little kids in the house. But I mean, you just love doing those things.
Yeah, it's fun. You know, if you can't laugh at yourself, you know, if you can laugh at yourself, then you don't get mad when somebody else laughs at you.
Yeah, yeah. So,
So-
did you want to do something else before we started?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
go ahead.
So we're gonna invite up some friends of ours.
Don't worry, folks. The ice cream stuff is coming. I'm saving it.
So there's some friends of ours are in town.
All right.
From Wisconsin, and you got to meet them. So you know we've talked about what's now going to be called the Misfit Parade instead of the Bike Caroling Parade. So Danielle was one of the original people that I think it was 4 of us or 5 of us that originally did it.
okay.
She was the one that I've always talked about, but her mom, Susie, you got to meet this woman. She is so funny.
All right.
Come on up.
You're gonna have to
I'll
move over
yeah.
one. All right. Yeah. Well, I only have 3. You told me 3.
Oh, sorry, I meant 4.
Sorry.
That's all right. We can hand it off.
Yeah.
back and forth.
Share. We're gonna
Come on up.
share.
Come on up.
Dan's gonna take over the interviewing right here. We're practicing for something in the future, by the way.
Yeah. So Susie, Susie, tell us. Grab that microphone. You need that. So tell us a little bit
Yes.
about who you are and
Okay.
how you have ties to Fort Myers Beach.
Who I am.
I got to hold it up close though. So
I'm Susie Nyrider from Hubertus, Wisconsin. Yay, that's right. More Wisconsin in the house. We're taking over, right? My ties to Fort Myers Beach is because of my daughter Danielle lived here for some years, and we would come down and visit. And then we were introduced to all these great people. They're like part of a family to all of us. And your beach is just beautiful. It's getting more beautiful every minute that we're here this trip. I'm
Yeah.
so happy for all of you.
So yesterday she saw, in the parade there was a couple of Bentleys going by.
Yes.
Weren't those nice?
Oh my God.
So she says, Dan, what kind of cars are those? I know you're gonna know. I said they're Bentley. She goes, oh, it kind of looks like my Lincoln. So her husband's name is Kenny. He's a giant Packer fan who's not here, but great guy, just typical Wisconsin.
Yes.
Typical Wisconsin
Yes.
guy. And so I said, well, Susie, you got to go home and tell Kenny he needs to get you a Bentley. Oh, I will. Oh, I will. So Kenny, if you're watching, he's probably not watching, but we got to show this to him. He's got to get you a Bentley.
Yes, I think so.
I think you deserve it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'll come and drive in your parade with you on it.
So you want me to dance in the back of your Bentley?
Of course. Can I dance with you?
Yeah, we can both dance. So
We
she
like
loves
to
to
dance.
dance. So she was at the Tiki Bar the other day, and she's out there. There's karaoke, and she's out there just dancing, having a good time. She is the epitome of what everybody should be like throughout their entire. She's always smiling. She's always
I am.
happy. So someone get her a Bentley.
Yes, please, please.
What is a
If the Bentley dealership is watching, you've got a perfect spokesperson.
what does a
Yes.
Bentley run? Does anybody have any
Oh, I
idea
know
what a
a
Bentley
lot.
runs?
A lot. I don't know.
$300,000 for a car.
Holy
Yeah,
moly.
I know.
Wow,
Wow, that's a lot. That's like a building.
it's more than my house.
Big
How much was your house when you bought it?
When I bought my house, it was 31,000. It's a ranch,
Uh-huh.
like 1,300 square feet, all stone. you know.
Yes, yes.
Our lot was it's about 3/4 of an acre, and we have another garage behind it. So that means think of that. But that was back in 1972.
72.
Yeah.
1972. I was 9.
Ooh, you're
7. Sorry, I'm not real good with math.
Man, yeah.
So
Here we
I'm-
go again.
So you're saying I'm very old, right?
No, I didn't mean to say that. Would you want a free bottle, water bottle? Would you like a free water bottle? Sorry.
So when I said
How old are you, by the way?
I'm 76.
Sweet, you're looking great shape for 76. Yeah. When's your
Yes,
birthday?
yes.
June 24th.
All right, it's coming up. So I'll give you a
be
water bottle as a
77.
gift for your
Thank you.
birthday.
Thank you.
How about 2?
Yeah, take one back for Kenny.
Did
Yeah.
you put any Tito's in there? or-
Tito's. Hey.
That's okay. She's great.
Awesome. Anything else, Dan?
No, that was
All right.
She makes me laugh.
Thank
All
you
right.
for
Thank you
having
for
me
coming on
Thanks
the
for coming
show.
up. So you know how every once in a while you put your foot in your mouth. This morning I said, Susie, I want to get you to come up on the show, and she's like, oh no, I haven't even combed my hair. I said, but you look great, and it was like, oh, did that just come out of my mouth? She didn't comb her hair, and I told her she looks great.
Yeah.
I took a shower yesterday morning. I didn't even comb my hair because all of a sudden the parade was crazy.
Yeah. We're happy you took a shower, though. That was nice of you
Yeah.
I'm
to
all
do that.
squeaky clean
Yeah,
again.
very nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
Susie.
Yes.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you for
Danielle,
coming.
Danielle, do you want to come up real quick? You gotta meet
Danielle?
So,
All right.
So her and her sister, I'll let her tell you.
All right. Danielle's coming up. She
Yeah.
had to take a drink of Tito's before she came up.
She's not as shy as her mother.
Her mother was shy.
Yeah. So exactly.
My mother taught me well.
So Danielle, tell them who you are and how you have ties to Fort Myers Beach.
I am Danielle Nyrider, and I ended up down here 2013. I moved. My sister makes fused glass jewelry, and
What's the name of the company?
it's Miss Olivia's Line, MissOlivia'sLine.com. No,
Susie
all I
does.
have right now is Timo and Sheen stuff on, but so it's fused glass jewelry, Italian glass, beautiful. Check it out. Prices start at like $24. Perfect price point. Came down here to do art shows. So met Dan and Megan and Angie. They invited me to a Super Bowl party at their house, and we've been best buddies ever since. So that's what brought me down to the beach.
So what made you leave the beach?
COVID.
Yeah.
So during COVID, all of our art shows were large events and everything was shutting down. So I ended up having to leave, went back to Wisconsin with the hopes of coming back down here. But then hurricane happened and not a lot of housing options. So now I just come down to visit and make them party really hard Wisconsin style for 4 days. And they're like, you have to go home now. This is too much.
That's a lot of truth to that. A lot of truth to that. Are you coming down for the newly named parade in December?
I am.
Ah,
So,
there you go.
Years
Bring your A game because she likes to party.
Yeah, I do. And I love to sing Christmas carols. So years ago, the three of us decided, let's take a speaker, hook it up to our bicycles, and drive around and look at Christmas decorations. Because when you grow up in the Midwest, you have to drive around in a car, right? Down here, you drive around in your bicycle, ride it around, and then it just
Or
took
in a
off
golf
from
cart.
there. The second year, we had 20 people. The third year, we had probably 50 people. And now you guys have 500.
Hundreds, yeah.
Crazy,
It's
yeah.
gotten it's
Next
gotten-
year, there needs to be a little more organization to the whole. It's an unsafe thing when there's so many
Well,
bikes
yeah,
driving
that's why
around.
that's why we're going to start early. I told you last week.
Yeah,
we're gonna-
this past year was dark, and I was trying to videotape it from the top of the Whale, and you see all the lights coming down, making the turn into a side street.
Yeah.
And some people don't know what's going on, so it's just you want to
Yeah,
keep
we got-
everybody safe.
Yeah, we'll get it. We'll get it bigger and better this year.
Call the
so-
mayor or somebody,
You
get
guys should,
something
you should do
organized.
like a Sunday fun day, like a Sunday afternoon.
Well, everybody it's a night parade.
Yeah,
You
it's
gotta
gotta have the
decorate
lights
Oh,
on.
that's
You
true.
know, and now it's kind of involved into the bikes and golf carts and scooters and a little bit of everything. Did you see the pictures from last year?
Yeah,
Did
it
you
was
see
amazing.
the three labs in the car?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was great. They were parked back here.
We
I
maybe
mean,
need to get like a best in show
Yeah.
category going.
Prizes next
That's
year.
your department.
Yeah.
So you're gonna come up with a category for who's gonna win.
Who
Good
wants
idea.
to judge? Do I have any judges in
yeah,
the
well, I'm
crowd?
sure we'll
Well, I'm
find
sure- I mean,
judges.
there's all kinds of technology. You can just put it online. And
Yeah.
People can text in.
True.
and Whatever. We'll
All
figure
right.
that out. Well, thanks, Danielle.
Thanks,
for coming.
Danielle.
Thanks,
Go eat your
guys.
breakfast.
Thank you for coming down.
Go drink my Tito's.
Go drink your Tito's.
All right.
You know, it seems to be a family thing there at Tito's.
Nice to see all the little kids here today. A lot of little kids here today. So keep it clean, Dan. I know you like to drop the F-bomb every once in a while.
Yeah,
so
you
keep
know,
it clean.
sometimes I get out of control. Ed.
So I just want to get this one thing out of the way because I know there's some people that are watching that are going to buzz off after I talk about the ice cream thing that happened yesterday.
Yeah, how'd that go for you?
Yeah, well, the post didn't go in my favor, but I'm totally fine with that. But so let me explain. So this is everybody. You can't just pull up in your car and pop out a business out of your trunk and decide that and you can chime in at any point. You can just walk up and down the beach and sell things. It's just there. You might not like it, but there are rules. You do need to get a vendor permit, and I think part of the permitting process is the insurance. Like if you have a a cart where you're selling food or ice cream and you sell something bad, if you don't think that whoever got sick or died or something from some bad food in a cart, that they're not going to sue the town, they are going to sue everybody. You might think that it's an innocent little thing, but there is a permitting process, and that permitting process, I think part of it has to do with insurance. I can't just run a 5K race on Fort Myers Beach without a permit, and the main reason for that is the insurance. Somebody trips and falls, which happens. I have to have insurance so that, and I have to hold it, make sure that the town is part of that. So, I mean, but that's besides the point, but you can't just pop out an ice cream truck and decide. There are 3 permitted businesses that sell ice cream in Times Square. And so you guys who thought that I was picking on the little guy, I'll get to who the little guy is in a second, but that wasn't picking on the little guy. If you want to buy ice cream from this guy, you buy ice cream from him. I don't really care. It's fine. Buy ice cream from him. But that was the first part of it. And the second part of it is it's totally personal between me and John Heim. John Heim is a scammer and a liar and a thief. He pretended that he had a water activist, organization, and he was collecting money from people, and nobody knows where the money went. I don't know if it was the TV station or the newspaper did some kind of investigation on him, and they couldn't figure out where any of the money went. And so he would try and hold these rallies up on the bridge with signs, and it was him and one of his homeless friends. It was 2 people that were holding this rally up on the bridge. And then the worst part about it for me is why it's really personal is he would get on social media and just tell total lies about me, tell total lies about our show. He said that he must have Googled somebody named Ed Ryan, and something came up where somebody on the West Coast got arrested. So that's me, like, because my name.
I remember that.
You remember that?
Yeah, I do
so
remember that.
so now I have to hire an attorney, and I have to, get the attorney to write a letter. I mean, this is an annoying little thing because if you don't have your reputation, you don't have anything. And so the attorney, now we can't find the guy. The guy's got no address. He's got no email address that works, a phone number that does. I think he lives in his mom's garage or something. And so, yeah, it's totally personal between me and that guy because he's a scammer. He's a 100% scammer. And so,
but one might not have to do with the other. I mean, selling ice cream and doing what you were saying, that's 2 different things. I mean, it's not like he's selling knockoff ice cream. I don't know, but it's ice cream.
But you do need to have a permit.
I would think so. Yeah, I guess I don't know for sure, but
I checked the portal.
I would think you would have to kind of like a street vendor permit,
Exactly
similar to what
right.
they had in Times Square. And it's to your point, it's not for anything other than to make sure you have the proper insurance should something go south.
Yeah.
That the town is named as an additional insured on it.
Those vendors that you see on the beach that are renting chairs, that are renting you're taking a parasail trip, they're all permitted. They're all licensed, insured, permitting. Again, I know this is not a big deal for an ice cream guy, but I'm just saying that's prime real estate. You got people sitting there, that's prime customer action right there for something like.
I'm really pushing, and it's coming up to have the discussion on an ordinance when it comes to things like this. Not just that, but golf carts, all some of the other things, because you have to make sure the town is protected.
Yeah.
Right. Otherwise, as we continue to recover and get back, you're starting to see businesses pop up that we don't really necessarily have an ordinance in place. So we need an ordinance in place that covers this so that the town is protected. To your point, if something were to happen in one of these businesses and the town wasn't an additional insured on the insurance, that could be very, very detrimental to the town. So it has nothing to do with the permit fees. I mean, at the end of the day, the permits could be free. It's as long as you have the insurance. I mean, we can always have that discussion, but it's not about generating revenue. It's about protecting the assets of the town.
Right. And the other thing, if you were ever in Times Square back in the day, I don't know if he still does it, but the pineapple guy, he would put like a ring around and he'd do these tricks. He was very talented. He had to get a permit. There was a certain number of street vendors that the town had back when Times Square was the old Times Square.
Well, I remember, and maybe he's grandfathered in. I don't know that. I'd have to go back and look. But when I first moved here, I think his name was Dave. Ice Cream Dave was the one that would push it down. And he was always barefoot. He always had the tan. And if you were on the beach, you'd see he would always make a stop at the old Junkanoo and go in, use the bathroom, have a beer, and then go back out and start pushing the cart down. Then he'd come back and do the same thing. Or you'd see him over at the Shamrock, and he was kind of a staple. And he'd push that cart up and down the beach all day, every day. But I think he's passed away, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So I didn't know. That
it's
John
just
had
this
taken
one.
over.
If there are 9 other ice cream carts out there, more power to you, man. I hope you make all the money and sell out all the ice cream. It's just that obviously I have a personal problem too with this clown. But just to put a bow on this story here, all of you flyby commenters there was over 1,000 comments, most 99.9% against what I posted.
I don't think I read one that was in your favor.
Yeah, you keep doing it, man, because we're so close to me being able to pay the attorney bill that I got from having to get a letter out to him because of that one post. We're almost even, Steven. So at the end of the day, it all comes out in the wash, as my old friend used to say. It all evens out. And so, yeah, I mean, I took it. You got to take it like a man sometimes when people think you're wrong, but I wasn't going to take it down because I know that you have 3 permitted licensed ice cream businesses in Times Square paying through the nose for rent in Times Square.
Or property taxes.
Or whatever it is. I'm not saying
both.
they're paying the town through the nose. So that's the story, and I'm sticking to it for now. Anybody other than him is fine with me.
But if you had to eat ice cream, what would be your favorite?
I don't eat ice cream, and I can't even tell you the last time I ate ice cream. Yeah.
I love ice cream. Pistachio.
Yeah.
Okay, Danielle.
Kim, I think Kim likes ice cream more. We don't eat
I
ice
like
cream.
ice cream. I used to eat ice cream all the time. I haven't eaten it quite a while, but I'll get a little one and eat it every now and again.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I like ice cream. It's good.
That's why I don't eat it, because it's
Especially
good.
cold,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think I've heard anyone ever say, "Man, that ice cream's not good." I just don't think that anybody in the world has ever said that.
I don't.
Yeah.
You know, Megan, a quick story about ice cream. Long before the storm, anybody that remembers Wanda, she used to own Royal Scoop, which was next to Tuckaway.
Yeah,
and
great
when her-
ice cream.
Yeah, and when her husband passed away, she was going to sell the business, and she approached Megan and I to buy it. And I didn't know anything about ice cream, and I thought, well, the price was right, but started kind of looking at the financials, and it was really hard to decide. That was the biggest mistake we ever made. Now, obviously, Hurricane Ian came in and had different, at the time, Trey and Amy didn't own the building. So we could have bought that at a very reasonable price. And now knowing what ice cream trades for is good business in ice cream.
Is it expensive ice cream?
The cost, from my understanding, what it costs the person to buy the ice cream is significantly cheaper than what you pay for the ice cream.
Really?
Yes. There's good margins in ice cream.
I have one of my cousins from Long Island came down, and he's like, "I'm going to open an ice cream shop down there." I'm like, "Ice cream? I mean, how many
I
ice
thought the same
cream
thing.
cups do you need to sell to make a decent living?" It's like, buddy, I mean, he was bent on. He actually looked at the one next to Margaritas on 41 to buy. Jason opened an ice cream shop next to Margaritas because he likes ice cream. That's why I think he did that. You'll see him over there half the time, but those two are great.
Which is
people,
funny
too.
because he's probably in like one of the
Thank
best
you.
shapes of any person I've
Yeah,
ever
he's
seen.
in great shape.
He doesn't drink, but he loves ice cream. It's like
I got to
I
tell
didn't
you,
even look at ice cream. I gained 10 pounds.
I got to tell you a funny story about the party, the after party yesterday. So, all the old people like me are waiting in line to go to the bathroom 5 minutes after the party starts because, that's just what happens when you get to be old. You first thing you do when you go to a party is, all right, where's the bathroom? It's not like how to get out of the exit safely. It's like, where is the bathroom? How many porta potties? I was looking across the street to see if there were any in the construction zone so I could sneak out because the line was long. So we're all standing in line. And it's spring break here on Fort Myers Beach. And thank you all for coming down and spending your money. But please clean up the mess that you leave. I mean, this morning I was walking on down in Times Square. There's crap everywhere. So this 20-year-old, he looked like he was 20. He was young. I'm guessing he was 21 because he was drinking. So he cuts in front of the line, like 30 guys waiting. Of course, no women ever have to go to the bathroom. It's only the guys that have to go to the bathroom. He cuts in front of the line. He opens the porta potty. There's a guy in there going, and he's just holding the door open, waiting. He had already cut in front of 30 people, and he's like, he comes out of it. He comes out, and I said, "Dude, what are you doing? Look at." He goes, "I really had to go bad." I was like, "You're 20. You can't hold it longer than these 60-year-olds standing in line."
Well, since we're on bathroom stories, so Angie, who's sitting over here, we're both from Minnesota. That's where we met. It was up in Minnesota. And she's a huge Uncle Kracker fan.
Really?
Huge Uncle Kracker fan. So she worked for a company where she had tickets to go see Uncle Kracker was coming to town at Toby Keith's bar in Minneapolis. So she was all excited. So her and I don't remember, a couple other people went. And she had to go to the bathroom so bad. And the line for the women's bathroom was out the door. If you've ever been to Toby Keith's, it's closed now, obviously. But it was out the door down, and she had to go. And there was no line for the men's bathroom. So I just walked her into the men's bathroom, and we got hammered by security in about 30 seconds.
Really?
They were coming in, these big guys. They're like, and they're banging on the door. And she's in there going to the bathroom. I'm like, dude, you might as well just wait. We're not hurting anybody. There's nobody there. He's banging on the door. They throw us both out. I don't think she talked to me for a year. She was so pissed.
They threw you out of the bar?
Oh yeah, we got kicked out.
Wait.
So she never even got to see Uncle Cracker.
In Nashville.
No, down in Minneapolis.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
Minneapolis,
they had a Toby Keith in.
They did.
in
It's
Minneapolis.
closed now, but they did in the is it West District?
Yeah.
I think it's called. But yeah, they had a Toby Keith bar there, and she never got to see Toby Keith or Uncle Cracker, so she was mad. So then I, of course, had to rub it in. He stayed at the Pink Shell.
Uncle Cracker did?
Yeah, about a year and a half ago. And he
Wow,
rented a
I didn't
golf
know that.
cart from us. So and then we got to see him up at the ranch. He played at the ranch. He was really good at the ranch. We got to have a picture with him afterwards. So
Speaking of the Pink Shell, if you guys
she's probably
haven't,
pissed at me for bringing that story up.
if you guys haven't, how many times have you gone in the men's room? Just that one time?
she doesn't do that anymore.
Just if you haven't been on the Pink Shells Facebook page, you should go on the Pink Shells Facebook page. Sheriff Marcino was down here. That dude loves Fort Myers Beach. He came down here. He's throwing footballs on the beach with kids, and he was out taking pictures and shaking hands with everybody. You know, it was just it was a great time for him to be down here. You know, he's such a great sheriff for this county, and it's nice when he comes down to Fort Myers
He's gotta
Beach.
let us know he's coming.
I know. Usually we get the heads up, but
they didn't even know we were coming. He was coming. We would have come
Yeah.
down throwing the ball around with him.
a lot of great pictures over there. I did want to mention a couple other things before we get to the issues of tomorrow. The pickleball, the Community Foundation is hosting a pickleball tournament next week, right?
21st, I think.
Is it 21st next Saturday? Yeah, it's next Saturday. And there was something wonky with their website. So if you want to register now, it's all fixed. So go
Oh,
on.
is
The,
that the site of the beatdown?
I don't know if I'm gonna. My wife and I are supposed to play Dan and the town manager, and of course she's got a backup for me because of my whiny sciatica problem that I just can't seem to get fixed. So she's got somebody lined up to fill in for me, and she's already told me I'm not playing, but I haven't bailed out yet. But that's next Saturday. We play.
If you're not playing, you know you're never living that down, right?
I can't give up even if I get
Well,
injured.
I mean, I understand if you want to duck the champs, that's fine. I get it.
We're gonna
It's
broadcast
easier to
that.
just say I have an aching injury.
Yeah. Oh man, I hope you never get sciatica, bro, because it is unbelievable.
Oh, I've had it.
Yeah.
Yes. But if you drive too far, you get
Oh,
it.
the worst part is the driving. That's the worst part of it, or the dog licking your face when you're laying in that machine upside down. You can't swat the dog away. So come on through, you guys. People online are asking why there are people walking by. It's because I put the camera in the wrong place, and we want to show you how busy it is here at Wahoo Willie's. There's people
is
walking
busy.
by all over the place. It is a packed house here. So the Community Foundation tournament is next week. That's a fundraiser for them. So if you can, if you play, you want to sign up. It's a ton of fun. Joy does a great job
And I think we
organizing
start
that.
at 8, right?
8 o'clock, because we have our regular show at 10 o'clock over at Margaritaville, back at
Yeah,
Margaritaville.
you're going to want to get there early because I think Will and I are going to have this over by 8:15.
I don't doubt it. The first time we played, it was you and Jim Adderholt, the vice mayor, and we got pounded. It wasn't a.
Yeah.
And then we argue all the time, but it was just times 10 arguing as
But
trying
that's
to
the
compete.
last time I ever played, so we'll see if I
Me
can.
too. Me too.
I might be talking a game here, but
Yeah, and they have 3 or 4. How many new courts do you guys just open up on Friday?
I don't know the exact number, but they are open.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing that up. The nets were up. They were building a shade structure to allow people that were waiting to be able to not have to sit in the hot sun. Right now, it's not so bad, but in the middle of July, they're going to be thankful to have that shade. But now all of the nets are up, and you can go over there and play on the new pickleball courts, and they look nice.
And also, I noticed, I don't know if you noticed it, but I noticed your new bike racks are here. You know,
Yeah.
they got brand new bike racks here. I don't know if there's probably one down there, but they look great. They're hotly painted.
Yeah, slowly starting to
Yes.
rejuvenate Old San Carlos Boulevard, so it's coming together.
Yeah,
the park is done now, and
One of the things that I wanted that I
fixing the turf anyway.
told you before the show that I wanted to bring up was your town manager here. I mean, you guys got really lucky with Will and his lovely wife coming and living on Fort Myers Beach, and him being your new town manager. That guy is involved in everything. He was at the tent early. Him and his wife were at the tent early yesterday, volunteering if there was anything that needed to be done. He was he was a judge for the parade yesterday. He's involved in all the events that are going on in the community. In addition to, doing the town manager's work, and sometimes the town manager has to be a but he's still figured out how to be involved in everything that's going on the beach, and he's just doing an awesome job for Fort Myers Beach, and he certainly was a cut above the other four. No knock against them, but it was clear he was the pick from those 5 interviews.
Yeah, in life, timing plays a lot into it, right? And I think timing just the stars happened to align for us to get Will and Deidre to come to Fort Myers Beach and be part of the community. And you could tell now he's starting to get his feet under him. He's starting to understand the island. He's starting to understand the people on the island. He's starting to understand where the pressure points and the hot topics are on the island. So, it's going to take time. He's still got learning to do. I think he'll be the first to tell you. But he's out there every day. You'll see him. He's going up and down the beach. He's learning the island. He's getting to understand. He and his wife are involved in pretty much everything when they can be involved. So, no, we're fortunate. I had a lot of good conversations with people yesterday that they feel like it's a fresher breath air. It's someone that is understanding that his job is to implement the policies that council puts in place and to hold everybody accountable to the same exact rules. And I think we haven't seen that for a very long time. So I had countless people yesterday say that they're really happy with the job that Will is doing, and look forward to seeing where it goes as he continues to grow. So yeah, I think we got a good winner there.
Yeah. And so one final thing on the day yesterday, there was no coverage at all about the parade. There was no TV or newspaper coverage for the parade. There were so many people lining the streets and at the after party, and you didn't get any news coverage in any way. They came running down here when there was some dead fish found over on the south end. They were all running down here with their TV cameras because they want to show the negative stuff. But when you had the Naples parade was on one of the local news channels or something, but there was not a single person from any of those, and it's a bummer. It's a bummer because you could use that. You could use that positive coverage from those people.
Happiness doesn't sell like negativity does, right? So, that's okay. As it gets bigger, as a women's club continues to grow, I think to me it was like 3 or 4 times bigger than it was the previous year. So I think these are some determined women that are going to make sure that's a really good event. Like you saw, it went off. By the time I went back there yesterday, about 5:30, it was already all cleaned up.
Mm-hmm.
Tables were stacked up. It was like it was before it even started. So they are determined to have a good time. And I think by the crowd, to your point, there was a good turnout.
Yeah. And the toilet paper was very soft, which I really appreciated. So,
but it's like any event that you do, you learn like, oh, we got to do this better next year. We got to do this better next year. And I'm looking forward to next year's event.
All right, so let's talk about the Wyndham property. I did talk to some folks that live on the south end that were hoping that something could happen at the Wyndham property. And there was just to set the stage a little bit, and then you jump in as much as you'd like to. There is a process in place for temporary placement permits, and you can see that there are some trailers up in Times Square. There's a couple over across on the other side of Margaritaville for the hot dogs. And those they've been in place for a while. And the process now for the temporary placement permits is every 6 months, you can ask for an extension. The town manager has the power to accept or deny an extension. You guys, the town council has given him the authority to do that. The town council also passed an ordinance that said there will not be any new temporary placement permits allowed. And the idea is you want more brick and mortar buildings to be constructed. You want to kind of get away from the help that you're trying to provide. We're now 3 years and 6 months away.
This is going to be probably a long conversation, so I'll kind of jump in because this actually goes back to right after Ian. After Ian, we obviously wanted to do what we could do to help people get back to their business or back into their home as soon as we could. So we drafted this temporary use permit to allow people on an 18-month schedule. Obviously, then the Senate and the House came out with something that ratified their bill, I think it was 250, that ratified that to where you could do it for up to 3 years. So that superseded ours. The problem with that was, and again, we didn't know, is that policy wasn't in place before the storm. So FEMA took real exception to that. And that was one of the reasons why we got in hot water with FEMA, was because it wasn't something that was previously in place that we implemented afterwards. And our argument was, well, the state has ratified this, but they didn't care. So that was one of the reasons. So as we've continued to go forward, we came up, and this was a unanimous discussion between the town council when we had this, that the goal is to move forward to entice people to that. At the time there were still people waiting for insurance or FEMA money or whatever. So, but we wanted to put a deadline on it. So as we had the discussion in August of 2025, I think if you want to look it up, it's Resolution 25-1 251, it clearly states that you cannot issue any more new temporary use permits, which would take the Wyndham out of running. So the permits that are out there, I believe there's 12 or 14, something like that, that are out there. It allowed to extend those permits if you had them prior to that resolution. One, that having that resolution made FEMA feel better, knowing that, okay, we're not going to continue to do this. And two, there will be a sunset, which is June 1st of 2027. And that, again, the discussion through council was we had to put a deadline on it, or that we can't continue to have this going on forever. So, in talking with some people yesterday that were upset about them not being able to get a permit, it goes back to what I said about Will. Will is holding the line as to what that, if you read section 2 of that resolution, it's one line and it's very clear. It says no new temporary ETPPs will be issued. That's a very hard line that the policy decision makers of the council made, because that's the direction that we hearing from everybody else wanted it to go. So even if, and I said this to a guy yesterday, even if the ability was there for Will to grant a temporary use permit for the Wyndham property, it would only be good till June 1st of next year. Because June 1st of next year, all 12 of them will end, unless there's a discussion from council to want to change that. A council member would have to bring up that they want to look at this resolution, go before the MMP, have a discussion, then it could go before a vote. But if you're going to change what we have, then you also, I think, have to look, do you want to change the deadline? And you think about it, June 1st is almost 5 years after the storm. At some point, you have to sunset these things, because people are going through CPD processes. They are going through development agreement processes to build back. So will be taking a look, and we gave Will the authority to be able to review these, make the decision if they were making, the goal was to make sure that there was significant movement forward to a end solution, to a hard building. And if they're not doing that, Will has the power to say, I'm not going to extend your temporary use permit. So that was the whole goal behind it. But it really started way back after Ian. Yeah. So it wasn't something new. And, not everybody that's here all the time maybe didn't know that was the case. And we all understand that we want the Wyndham to have something down there. We understand the South End needs restaurants. I live on the South End, so I totally understand that. But at some point, instead of trying to go around the system, it's easier to go through the system.
Right. And just a couple of things. I mean, there is some gray area to some of that. And I don't mean with the Wyndham. I mean, the Wyndham could have knocked their building down 2 years ago and could have applied for it.
But it has nothing to do with it. They could have filed for a temporary
back in the day. Yeah. When it was available.
3 years. They chose not to do it. They were great partners in helping us with, originally the FDM had their temporary medical facilities set up there in their parking lot. They've been great partners with helping the town for access for the trucks for the sand. So they've been great partners, but whether being great partners and whether or not they tore their building down has nothing to do with the ability to apply for a temporary use permit. But because of the timing, they are no longer allowed that right to be able to do that.
Right. And nobody's arguing that it would be a cool thing for some. Not everybody down there wants all that parking either. I mean, it wasn't 100% agreement in that area. There were people that were freaking out about the number of paid parking spots that would be in that area. That would, I mean, that's a kind of a busy, it's by Linnell, right? It's
right by Linnell. Yeah. It's right,
busy intersection.
Right across from CVS.
Yeah.
By the 7-Eleven, Sanderax on the other side. And I've had probably 50-50, quite honestly, emails pro and against what's going on there. Everybody was in favor of obviously having something to be able to do on the South End, but we're concerned with, the biggest concerns I had were with the parking from people on the South End, but they were all in support of having something happen there. But making sure it's done the right way is more important.
And they do have a development order application in to build a tiki bar down there on the. I don't know how they're going to do that or with FEMA and all that, but they do have a development order.
It has to. That's the thing. Through that, it has to meet floodplain regulations and it has to meet all the other things that everybody else has to go through. So that puts us on solid ground with FEMA, obviously, and keeping the 25% discount, which everybody's going to be happy to have that. So. It may not be important for that 25% discount for some people, but I can tell you a lot of the condo owners are certainly happy they're going to be having that discount back.
Yeah.
So the town, I know Will has met with the family and said, we'll do what we can to help you move through the process, but you've got to be willing to move through the process because the ETPP is not going to be a path.
Yeah. And, your best bet on the South End is put the pressure on the South Beach Grill. I mean, that's going to be the next one that opens. And I don't know what the heck is going on down there. Somebody told me yesterday it looks like they're putting in 2 tiles every day or something.
Well, and I don't want to be a broken record, but I will because I think it's important. because I think you're starting to see that shift where people are understanding there has been approved properties on the island, and when the pressure has to start shifting to them to do something, I mean, not to call them out, but I will. The old movie theater, they've been approved to have restaurants and things down there. For whatever reason, they're not moving forward. I don't know what the reason is. I've heard speculation, but they haven't reached out to me to tell me what's going on as to why they aren't moving forward. But they've got the approval, they've got the infrastructure is already there. They could be open and running pretty quickly, but they're not moving forward. So, we need to start asking these questions to the people who are coming in and asking for these entitlements. When are you going to get moving? We've done our part to make sure that you can.
See, they got the Naples St. Patrick's Day parade on Wink. Nothing for us here. It's BS right there. That's BS right there. Who cares about Naples? So no. And so the one thing
I thought ice cream was the only thing you were sore about.
No, I was really sore about that when I saw that. It's like, you see all the people on the beach. You see the mayor dancing like a
idiot.
Sorry, it's too loud. It's me. It's me that's too loud. What?
The dancing leprechaun.
Is that okay now? I promise to stop yelling.
Yeah.
So
my
the
britches kept falling down. I mean,
how much
I think
weight?
I probably lost 10 pounds.
I was gonna say, man, you were a sweating machine.
Yeah.
So the last thing, if the most disappointing thing about the whole rebuild to me is Times Square. I mean, we started our show in Times Square at Peach Time Out, and you go over there today, and it doesn't look much better than, well, it looks a lot better than the first few days after. But it's just, it's really disheartening to see Times Square in the way it is, and there's the broken bricks and all that. And then I know I pick on Terry all the time, but you go over to Terry's Dairy Queen lot now, and it's like a farmer's market. The guy's not only got trailers over there, he's got a float from the Shrimp Festival parade. I mean, that's part of this whole temporary placement permit thing, is you get people that just take. And I guess it looks fine. It's a giant red Solo cup, but that's not supposed to be there. He doesn't have a permit to put a trailer with a float there.
I'm sure if there's something that's not in compliance, the staff.
Okay, you're going to tell me that has any chance of being compliant?
I didn't even know it was there. I haven't been up there for a while.
Well, get over there, walk around, Mayor. Go do your jig up there in Times Square.
I do. There are businesses moving forward. The ice cream shop's been approved, and it sounds like the old Plaka property is coming forward. So I think it's kind of like anything else. Once the first person gets out of the gate, then then it starts rolling pretty quickly. And I'm hoping that's the case in Times Square. But, that's a challenging part of the island because, just on the side where Terry owns most of that, he lost probably 50% of his buildable property after the storm. So it becomes very challenging to be able to capture what you had, the walkability and accessibility from the ground floor like Times Square was and Peach Time Out, to now having to meet requirements, floodplain requirements that have to elevate, and how can you activate that lower level space. And I think that's what a lot of the beach side, not just in Times Square, but Salty Crab, the Cottage, the ones that go down the line, that they're dealing with that issue of trying to navigate how can we activate this lower level space and still stay compliant with floodplain regulations.
Yeah, and he's got the bar stools set up where you can look out on the beach, which is kind of cool. I mean, who doesn't like to do that? But part of the challenge that he's going to have is the new coastal construction control line cuts right through whatever that property was.
It's not new. It's been around since
they were grandfathered in front of it.
Yeah, but that was built before all of that. So they were able to have that. So that's why I said they've lost half of their buildable footprint, probably, if not more, in some of those lots on the beach side. So it's going to be challenging, but I try to always look at the optimism of every situation. Yes, it stinks that you have to elevate, right? But think about it. If or when we ever get another water event, even if it's like Helene or Milton, where it wasn't an Ian, you're going to be able to open much quicker because everything's upstairs. It's going to be above any flood water. You're going to be able to be open like Wahoo's was. It's built to withstand the storm.
Yeah.
And it was open in December, right after the storm. So 3 months after the storm, they were able to get people in here and start generating business again.
I think they were open for 2 or 3 days before the storm or something.
Yeah,
it was that
right
close.
So the flood, the floodplain regulations work.
Yeah.
So yes, it stinks that you maybe have to go upstairs
But Dan, I don't even mean that.
But after the storm, you're going to be able to reactivate much quicker.
I don't even mean that. I mean, if you just take a walk over there, it's just ugly. I mean, part of it is the town. The town does own the brick.
Yeah.
I mean, it could use a paint job. I mean, we could raise all
there's-
the money to
there's-
buy
there-
paint and stuff like that. Just paint it before season starts so it looks a little prettier. That's all I'm saying. I mean, they know all those
So you
tiles.
say put a lipstick on a pig is what you're saying.
Yeah, right. I mean, at least look at people love walking through there. I mean, we painted
do.
the wavy wall, all with volunteers, and it looked great. And I'm just saying, a paint job. I know you got to pull those tiles up eventually, and maybe
I
10
think
years.
I think Will mentioned
He
that
did.
the plan is to try to do stamped concrete in there to make it look really nice. You remember before the storm, we were set to start. We had worked it out with the town, the businesses in Times Square to rejuvenate that whole Times Square area with $1 million grant that we had, and we had to get it done in a certain amount of time or lose the grant. So that was moving forward. Then obviously the storm had.
If you guys have never seen those pictures, I don't even know if it's kind of depressing to bring it up when you see those pictures now.
They're beautiful.
They had awnings, because one of the problems over there was the birds. I mean, the birds would crap all over everything, and that's why all those umbrellas were up there. So they had these nice awnings that the town was actually, I think, going to buy for all the businesses.
No,
There was some kind of partnership.
It was kind of a partnership. Yeah, they were going to tie in. Their water and stuff was going to tie into our system, but there was a stage up there.
Yeah.
John Lalo and the merchants up there through a concert every weekend on the Sunset. I think they call it the Sunset Celebration.
Yeah.
But so we had plans to have a little stage up there, kind of an extension of what the stage is here down there. So it was going to be a nice little corridor. And we'll get that back. It's just going to take a little bit of time and some money to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but it seems to me like the Crescent Park the work has just kind of stopped. It just seems like those piles of sand have been sitting there. Have you seen work during the week?
Yeah,
Are they working in
I've
there?
been seeing them do work out there. I don't know exactly what they're doing. I don't know if they're doing some water infrastructure. I'm not sure what's exactly happening with all the digging, but they're moving forward. And I mean, I see the things moving every day.
And that is going to look like that's going to be a nice park when
gonna
they're
be
done. It's
beautiful.
going to be some
It's gonna be
shade.
beautiful.
There'll be
Think
an
about
area
it, when
for
that's
live
done,
music.
And then Salty Crab comes out, and then what's going to happen at the base of the bridge with the fenced-in area and the LCSO and the golf cart and bike parking and that kind of stuff. It's gonna be a nice entry in the landscaping that'll go into the roundabout area that Margaritaville is going to maintain. So it's going to be a beautiful entrance into the island.
Yeah.
The last piece is getting Times Square where it needs to be.
Yeah. And the other thing is, do you have you heard whether or not the Army Corps of Engineer permits are anywhere? I mean, I ask the same question in Cape Coral every week, everybody, because they don't have a pier in at the yacht club, which is one of their parks, and because they're waiting on Army Corps of Engineer permits.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it has. Commissioner Maleka hasn't told me that they have. I haven't asked them specifically in the last week, but my guess is that's what I understand is that's still the holdup. The county's done their
the
part.
last
We've done our
holdup.
part. So it's just a matter. But we knew that was going to be the biggest hurdle. But I think once that's done, it'll move fairly quickly. I think they said it was an 18-month construction time frame from start to finish. So in the scheme of governmental work, that's pretty fast.
Yeah,
So
they're ready to go. The
hopefully,
county is ready to go. They're just waiting on. I mean,
final
if they don't
sign-off
get
for
those
permits,
permits this year, that's really going to stink. That would be 4 years after the storm.
Yeah,
and they
I don't
haven't
want to speak for the
started.
county. If Commissioner Maleka is listening, hopefully he can reach out to either one of us and let us know.
Yeah.
Reach out to Will, let Will know what's going on so we can get it out there.
Do you guys plan to do any kind of coordination with Times Square and the pier? Like, is there going to be any kind of like working together on that whole spot?
Well, there was so again right after the storm, I sat down with all the merchants owners at the time that owned property in Times Square, and had talked with at the time Commissioner Sandelli, and tried to figure out a way between the town and the county how we could really make a really neat complex there with the pier to maybe have it where you only have to have 2 elevators. The county was willing to potentially look at giving up some of their property by Lynn Hall Park for an elevator shaft, and the town could have done the same on the other side. And then all the businesses could have been tied together with a catwalk or something across, and then that could have tied into the pier. So there was discussion about doing that. Everybody at the time seemed really on board with doing it, and we were moving forward. And then all of a sudden, when you've got, I think it was 9 property owners in Times Square, it's very hard to get 9 people on board with what the vision is. And it sounds like that obviously has fallen apart, and now everybody's kind of going their own way. I think at some point you got to see some drawings of what it could have looked like down there.
Mm-hmm.
But it too many cooks in the kitchen, I would say. And it's hard to get 9 property owners on the same path as to what's best for all of them.
Do you know anything about the Lynn Hall Park bathrooms? I don't see any construction for that either.
I do not know. Again, that would be maybe you need to have Commissioner
I
Luck
know,
on
right?
and
Ask him all these
ask
questions.
him all the
What
questions.
about-
I know he's willing to. He's been working hard on our behalf to move these things forward. There's things he's working on the other side of the bridge that would benefit the town of Fort Myers Beach also. So, I mean, in the county, if people don't know, talk about that CDBGR funding. It looks in paper like the town didn't ask for a ton. But if you look at what the county took over, because being able to get it through the CDBGR process, it's easier for the county to do it than the town. The water treatment facility that they're redoing that feeds all the water to us is getting all completely revamped under CDBGR funding for the town of Fort Myers Beach specifically, but it's being run by. So although it doesn't appear that we got the money for it, we are the direct benefits of that project that's being done.
And that's the facility over by the
Off of Pine Ridge there.
by
to
the free.
right
parking.
across from the parking lot.
Yeah. By the way, I don't know when it
That's
was.
significant. I think that was a couple $100 million.
I think it
It's
might have been
not
last
cheap.
Sunday when I left the show, or Saturday. That parking lot was filled. I've never seen it filled before, but it was filled.
People are starting to, I think the fact that you're seeing less and less traffic
Yes.
back up, the people are starting to finally use it because they can get on and off the island much easier and they don't have to worry about parking. So it's starting to catch on. So
Yeah.
hopefully once we get all these lights synced, we really get to see what it can do.
Speaking of that, what are we doing with the light up here? Anything new?
Well, this one?
Yeah, the one up here in the corner.
Yeah, that was approved. So it was approved last Tuesday or the Tuesday before at the BOCC meeting. So that's going to start probably in May, it sounds like, and be done in 2 to 3 months. So July, August area.
That's a long time to put up a traffic light, right? I mean, I don't know.
Well, there's a
You
lot
would
of
think
electric.
I think I said this last week. You would think that would be a priority for them to during season
Well,
here.
And
but
again, so I'll give you a perfect example. Not that I'm making any excuses, but so after Hurricane Ian, we redid the electric that runs down down Old San Carlos for Bayside Park, for all the lights you see out here, for that light there that you're talking about. All that electricity falls under the town of Fort Myers Beach. We replaced it all, and then Helene came and wrecked it all again. So it was fixed and then it was wrecked again. So now you're starting all over again from the process. So it's not that it wasn't.
look at that guy, another
Now
doofus from the Naples parade at the interview. I mean, he certainly didn't look as cool as you did in that outfit. It probably wasn't the mayor either, dressed up like a leprechaun. I mean, gosh. What if we send the newspaper and the TV stations a video of you dancing just to see if they'll do a follow-up story? So, have you guys seen the video of him dancing yet? I mean, it's on our Facebook page.
We
It's
are the
hilarious.
island of misfit toys.
Kim got you
including a
good, man. She
leprechaun.
got you coming right at the camera yesterday.
did
It was
she?
perfect video of you, except for, what was that music you were playing?
A little bit of everything. I got a lot of compliments on the playlist. There was
Yeah.
a lot of 70s and 80s, and
I didn't hear
Yeah.
that. I heard rap music. That's all I heard when you came by us.
you have headphones on. How could you hear anything?
And I apologize. We were trying to
We got a lot at the women's club event afterwards. We got a lot of compliments on
Yeah.
the playlist.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to apologize for people that were watching the parade from wherever. Like, we were trying to do a parade from a table that had no power and no internet. So, I mean, I have this power box that you plug into that I thought was going to work for the whole thing, and I was just using the battery power from the laptop. And every time I would get on the microphone, it would blow up the power, the battery would shut off. Like,
You
so
know,
I
they
just
make bigger ones, right? I mean, did you get it free with the baby truck?
no, I didn't get it free. It cost me like $100 for that thing. So and so
$100.
it kept
Why
shutting
did it
off
not work?
after a
I
while.
got it at Temu.
What is that? What is Temu?
I got it at Temu.
Is that a
I'll tell
website?
you,
Or something?
one of the
I got
best,
it on Amazon.
One of the best.
That's where I get my chicken now too. It's like
one of the best comments I read all weekend.
never leave the house.
Danielle made a post. She had a picture with a gentleman from the Tiki Bar. I'm sorry, I don't remember what his first name. Jeffrey. I think his name is Jeffrey. So she had a picture with him, and she's a Packer fan as well. And she's got a picture with him, and she's like, "Oh my God, I got my picture taken with what's his name?
You ruined the joke,
Micah
man.
Micah Parsons, and everybody's commenting on it. And one guy said, "Temu Parsons."
I don't even get it. So
Oh, if you ever
everyone
bought
else
off a Temu, you'd know.
is that a better, cheaper website than
It's a
Amazon?
cheaper, smaller.
Really?
It's kind of like the story I told you about the Devo hats we bought for the Top of Hop one year. We were going to be Devo as a costume, so I ordered these Amazon hats that said Devo, and they showed up. They were this big. They were. I didn't read the full thing. They were actually. I don't know if I can say this on there. They were actually nipple covers. That's how big they were. But I didn't read the whole description. I just saw
I don't even
the
know what to
Tebow
say.
ads.
Nipple covers. Did you put them on?
Huh?
Never mind.
No, but
So-
we gave them to one of our friends who thought they were fantastic.
So I got to tell you,
So
Right.
we got Amazon.
I don't know why. I mean, if Kim was here, she would have walked out of this show already because we're just telling stupid stories. But I eat sliced chicken every night, like every night. Well, night. Now I'm 60. I eat at 3:30. I mean, apparently I'm my grandfather now, so I eat dinner at 3:30, and I eat the same thing. I eat these chicken slices. And I found out I can get them on Amazon. So what Amazon does is I guess they get them from Fresh Market. So the guy like I order 6 bags. I get 6 different delivery trucks that come with 1 bag from the Fresh Market.
It's
and
efficient.
every time there's 1 bag of chicken in it, there's 2 ice water. So I'm getting like 12 bottles of free water with every chicken order that I make from a Fresh Market. But geez, man, you can really buy everything off Amazon. I'm surprised there's any retail locations open anymore because I mean they make it so easy and they deliver it like the same day. You can get chicken from Amazon
You
the
literally eat
same
chicken
day.
every single
Every
day.
single night.
Nothing
I eat
different.
nothing different. I eat
You lead a boring life.
5 days a week. I eat the same breakfast and the same dinner, and I cut up a half a slice. People don't care what I eat. I cut up a half a sliced pepper with the chicken, and that's it. You know, I think.
I guess it works, right?
Yeah, and we never go out to eat, never, except for here on Sunday. So I mean,
Wow.
saves a lot of money. So the
Sorry,
last
Kim.
she's
Date
probably
nights
sleeping.
are really fun.
Yeah,
I
well,
can see your
we
date
go out
night.
once
You're
a year.
hanging upside down. Did you ever fall asleep on that upside down?
No, I
machine?
can only sit in that thing for 5 minutes because the blood
Oh.
rushes to your head so much. I'm afraid, like you can start to feel the blood rushing
Not
to
that
your
I
head.
want to give Kim any ideas, but has she just gone over and like snuck up
No,
behind you? and
she's not
spun
like
that
you.
bad
She
boy
would
like
never do that to me.
Wheel of Fortune.
No.
Hold a little thing on your face every time you're in.
It's the dog that's having a blast of his life there. No, if the dog lifts his leg
Sorry, I
once,
can
I'm
picture
never
that.
getting on that machine again if that happens. No, but
She'd probably lose. I would check the bolts every time because now she's heard that she's gonna loosen some bolts and do that.
that is a
But
scary
she's gonna,
thing.
instead of the little thing like on the spinning wheels that go, tuck, 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 it's going to be a 2x4. So every time you come by,
No, so it does stretch out your back, though. I mean, I
Does
can
it?
really feel the stretch. Although, I mean, I've been on the prednisone. I took a muscle relaxer once, like during one of the Cape Coral meetings. That was the biggest mistake. Like, I don't know anything about muscle relaxer pills, but I took one of those pills, and it's like, wow, that stuff will take you right down. So now he only prescribed 6. I'm only allowed
that
to have
explains
6
some of the
apparently.
late night posts I've read of yours.
No, last night was totally fine. I totally am behind the one I posted last night, but man, that was a doozy. And then I guess I have some hydrocodone or hydrocodone, whatever the hell that is, that I had when I got my tooth pulled. I'm sucking that down because I'm hoping I'm going to get the shot this week because that apparently. I mean, I've hardly gone to the
Yeah,
doctor,
what?
but you got to
Next
go
thing-
through these stages for the insurance
Yeah.
to pay
I can
before
already
you can
see it.
actually get
I
fixed.
can already see you're going to be another Brett Favre. Next thing you know, you're going to be texting pictures. Yeah, you see where I was going, right? You're going to be texting pictures to people,
What?
and he got hung up on the painkillers.
He
and-
did. Well, I mean, Kim's like, you can only get 8 of these from the doctor because people get addicted to these. I'm like, addicted to them.
Yeah.
I mean, why? Why would you get addicted to them? It
Good.
doesn't make you high or anything, but it.
No, it takes away the pain.
Okay. Well, I guess I can understand that then. But anyway, so enough about me. I can't believe it's almost 11 o'clock. The last thing I wanted to ask you about was, so tomorrow's a big day for the women's club. And I don't know how this somehow turned into somewhat of a controversial vote, but it's going to be interesting tomorrow that there's going to be people speaking that I don't know how much you can say because you have to vote on it, but it is going to be an issue where it's not going to be just like a cut and dry thing.
Well, I can't say anything about it because we are going to vote on it, but I'm excited. I think there's going to be it's probably going to be a lot of people there to speak on both sides. So, and I shouldn't say sides because I don't know that I've talked to anybody that's against what the women's club is doing or has done. They have some issues, and at the first council meeting, we gave direction to both sides to go back and have a conversation to see if there was something that could work out in conversations and met all the things that it needs to meet, and we'll hear tomorrow whether or not that happened.
Yeah, I guess I can talk about it because I'm not going to vote on it. So tomorrow there's going to be a group of neighbors in the area that seem like they're concerned that if the women's club gets an outdoor liquor license, I mean, they have 10 or 12 events a year where they have to apply for a special events permit so they can sell alcohol in their big tent. And the neighbors love the women's club, so don't get me wrong. But for some reason, it seems like they are concerned that the women's club property might be sold to a business that would all of a sudden, be a loud ruckus business in the neighborhood. They've been the women's club for 50 years. They're in the middle of a major, 70 years. I don't know where that came from, but 70 years. And they're in the middle of a major fundraising, like millions and millions of dollars to fundraise to build this new building, which is a spectacular looking community building. So I guess the people that have an issue with the zoning part of it will state their case tomorrow before. If you're in favor of the women's club rebuilding, you should come and speak tomorrow. I'm not saying they're not in favor of it, but you know what I mean. I mean, the more people that speak at a council meeting, the better it always is. The more public involvement, the better it always is, because that does mean something to the 5 people sitting up there. I mean, I think it does.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's who we all work for. So whether you're for something or against something, or if you can be there in person, great. If you can't, you can send emails, then do that, because we do listen to it. It is one of the criteria that we are required to follow in making decisions in a quasi-judicial setting. And that's so public comment is part of that. So I encourage anyone,
right,
whatever on any topic, on any CPD, on anything that comes before the council, feel free to come up and say your piece, because it does matter.
Yeah. And I know you can't say anything. None of the council members are allowed to talk about any of the issues in any forum and give away how they're going to vote on it. That is a clear violation. It's a violation of ethics. And if you guys are ever around anybody where that happens, that is an illegal thing to do. You can get in serious ass trouble if you do that. You're not supposed to tell anybody. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah. Yeah. You part of the whole quasi-judicial nature is that you listen to all the facts before you make a ruling. So it is important that you do that. And, you can have discussions with anybody, but you can't give any inclination as to how you're going to vote.
Right. And that's why I know you're avoiding it, because you're not allowed to do it. It's like taking $1,000 present from somebody. You're not allowed to do that either.
No, I mean, it's the whole point of the process.
Does anybody have any questions for the mayor? Anybody want to ask a question? Hot Goods want to ask a question? I know Jamie's on his phone there. Did you get your massage today? Yes, he gets it every Sunday. Oh, we have a question from the peanut gallery over here. Come on down. You got to ask it so people can hear it on the microphone. And there you go.
Do you think the Minnesota Vikings will eventually get a Super Bowl ring?
That's an easy answer.
I think it's a better chance of seeing Brett Favre's junk again emailed to somebody.
Again? Wait a second. Wait, again? I didn't hear that. Oh, we have another question. Dan, you started a riot here.
We did just sign Kyler Murray. So
that's right. You got a new quarterback.
Some of the memes that are out there.
Now you have 2 injury-prone quarterbacks.
Well, we'll see. The problem with being a Viking fan is you are always going to be a Viking fan, and you just look at people forget that the Packers stunk for 40 years before you had back-to-back Hall of Fame quarterbacks. So
they were awful for a long. Now our team is awful.
Good at the beginning, and then you stunk for 40 years. We've just stunk all along. We're waiting for our time of it. We came close with Favre. If you remember, if he didn't throw across his body, Packer. I mean, you guys didn't want him. We said whatever, but he took a beating in that New Orleans game. You remember that was the New Orleans game where the coach got suspended for an entire year, Sean Payton, for cheating. He put out a bounty to take him out. So
the worst thing is being a Jets fan. So I don't want to hear anything about it. You're a Vikings fan. At least you have a fighting chance. Ma'am, what's your question?
My question is, after seeing you dance on the streets yesterday, I want to have the first dance with you tonight.
Oh, where are you guys going dancing? The Lighthouse?
I don't know.
Oh, look at that. The dancing and kissing mayor.
Yeah.
50 cents per kiss.
I love her.
Yes. Did you no more yelling from we did our show Friday night. There was a guy in the audience yelling the entire show about how the person that I was interviewing is answering the questions. It was great. Really? So anything that we missed that you want to update people on? I want to make sure that you anything at the meeting tomorrow that we should know about.
No, it's pretty all straightforward. A couple public hearings, some administrative stuff that's just some cleanup, but for the most part, we got the LPA. Got the LPA nominated. There's an opening on the LPA. Obviously, that'll be coming up at a future meeting. It's not tomorrow, but the deadline is coming if it hasn't already passed to get your application in. If you want to be considered for the LPA or any open committee seat, please do.
All right, and I think right now there's only one applicant for the LPA, and that's Ed Schoonover. So unless there was some on Friday, but all All right. Anybody else have any questions for the mayor before we let him dance out of this? Dance out of the screen. Exit stage
Yeah,
left.
you know
Dan.
what? My knees are telling me today I'm not 21 anymore.
Big hand for your mayor, everybody. Dan Allard. Great job today, Dan. All right, everybody, before you hang up the phone, I need to tell you about two of our great sponsors. He was a big sponsor of the parade yesterday, and he sponsors everything here on Fort Myers Beach. Alex King, the great Alex King, also sponsors our show where he creates dreams and elevates lifestyles. They've done the research and the homework, so you don't have to. Give Alex King a call, 239-219-0336. 239-219-0336. And Michael Stewart is our other sponsor of today. I know he is. Where are you, Michael? This is how organized I am without my wife around. Blank pieces of paper. All right. Michael Stewart is... What, did you guys take my other sponsor? Is that what happened? It blew away somewhere. Oh, here it is, right underneath the first piece of paper. Anyway, Michael Stewart is our second sponsor of the show. Give Michael Stewart a call. M Stewart PE on Facebook and YouTube and all the social medias out there. You can find his phone number there. Thank you to Michael Stewart and Alex King, and thank you to Dan Allers. Thank you all for coming to Wahoo Willie's today, and we'll see you next Saturday back at Margaritaville. Bye-bye. One glitch.